Last week, we shared some long-awaited news about the recession of Ebola in the worst-hit regions of West Africa, particularly Liberia, which announced that it was down to only 5 cases. In yet more encouraging news, the infamous ELWA3 treatment center in the country, the biggest housing facility for treating those affected, is being dismantled and gradually incinerated as the virus declines. The tent held 120 beds when it first opened in August in the capital city Monrovia. Many times during the peak of the crisis, staff had to turn back cases because of overcapacity. The hard-working health staff marked the retreat of the epidemic by dismounting and burning the first tent at the clinic. Duncan Bell, field coordinator in Liberia for Médecins Sans Frontières, speaking on the development, is quoted as saying, "The number of cases has decreased significantly. We are down to 5 confirmed cases in Liberia. In line with this development, we think it was appropriate to reduce the treatment center. Today we have 60 beds, and at the end of February we hope to go down to 30 beds. This does not mean that we are closing ELWA3, we are just reducing the capacity." The Minister of Commerce in Liberia, Axel Addy, has told the media in Switzerland that Liberia hoped to get down to 0 cases by February's end. The world is rooting for you, Liberia. Ghana recently played host to Chief Executive Officer of General Electric, Mr. Jeffrey Immelt, when he visited the country to finalize discussions and negotiations on the $560 million Ghana 1,000-megawatt gas-powered plant in the country. The first phase of the electrical project is expected to commence and be completed in 2016 and will provide 750 megawatts of energy, while the second phase, targeted for 2018, will provide an additional 500 megawatts. In all, the project will help Ghana realize 1,200 megawatts of power, which will help her to become self-sufficient and also a net exporter of energy. The meeting by both parties happened at the PEDAU's launch in the Eastern region, with Ghana represented by the President, John Mahama. Mr. Immelt said it was a dream come true to have his outfit merging with Ghana to increase power production for both domestic and external consumption, and called for effective collaboration to speed up the execution. According to Mr. Immelt, the $1 billion project, which will be located in the Western region, will include a floating storage and regasification unit. This will facilitate the importation of liquefied natural gas to generate power. President Mahama, on his part, commended General Electric for its interest in partnering with government to add value and more megawatts of power to the national grid to reduce the growing inadequacies in power. As provisions towards the upkeep of orphans, disabled people, vulnerable children and the elderly, Kenya's government has set aside about 29 billion shillings for more than 400,000 Kenyans who fall into these categories. The funds will help to improve their living standards. The project, which is spearheaded by Kenya Commercial Bank, will commence in March this year and is in collaboration with Kenya's Ministry of Labour, Social Security and Services. A statement from the bank says that plans are underway to launch a new payment card that will be used to disburse the money, and beneficiaries will, in turn, access the money through ATMs or the bank's agents across the country. The director of the bank, Samuel Makome, who spoke on the institution's behalf, is quoted as saying, "Through our countrywide reach of over 240 branches and over 8,000 agents, the bank will be able to offer convenient means of presenting the funds to registered beneficiaries. Selection of the beneficiaries will be done by the ministry, which will work closely with local authorities to ensure fairness and honesty." President of Kenya Uhuru Kenyatta has launched biometric registration for all the beneficiaries of the program to prevent duplication and mismanagement of funds for the project. Now, this is just one of the many initiatives the government of Kenya has introduced in its attempts to lower poverty levels in the country, which have been placed at about 46%. Alright guys, it's time for us to take a quick break, but not to worry, we'll be right back.